600-866-1075. And speaking of media days, let's shoot all the way to Tuscaloosa, where Nick joins us now on the Rush's phone lines. Nick, how you doing, man? Welcome in.
Good, Jay. How you guys doing this afternoon?
We're great, thank you.
What's up?
Hey, Duce, it was great seeing you at media days, man. We had a good time down there. It's always great to see those coaches come in and get a little bit of info to get our appetite ready for football season.
Yeah, you're right about that, Nick. I really enjoyed it myself, and also enjoyed doing the interview with you, and I look forward to seeing you again next year. I
appreciate that. I'm actually in the process of loading that to my site, the Tide Times, and I'm also launching a network of SEC blog sites in which all 12 SEC schools will have their own blog page, and I'm going to run it off of the site with an independent server, so it's going to be a legitimate, real thing, and I should have that up in a couple of days. Maybe I can call back next week when I get it launched and give you the addresses for it. But I wanted to let everybody know that it was a pleasure speaking with you down there, and that you had a lot of knowledge about the different coaches in the game in general. We enjoyed it. I had a real good time, and it was great meeting you and catching up with you.
Nick, appreciate the phone call, buddy. Good luck with all that. Yeah, give us a shout, and look forward, if nothing else, to being in Tuscaloosa in mid-October, where I know Nick Gamecock fans will want to spoil Alabama's homecoming late at Ole Miss.
They will certainly try it. If I can I give the Tide Times a quick plug, real quick for?
Real quick for us. Yeah, real fast. Why not?
www.thetidetimes.blogspot.com.
Gotcha.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
Okay, Nick. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one out there.
He was cool, man. Yeah. Really enjoyed doing. I did an interview with him, and of course, we know how strong the Tide fans were down there. And you know, Jay, to be honest with you, and I know that last year was my first year, this is my second year, and you know, each year you guys say this event grows. Yeah. But man, just to see all the people this time, how much bigger can it get?
Well,
we'll out of the Winfrey.
We'll find out next year. I mean, if they hit 900 this year, I imagine that the SEC will be mighty proud one day if they can credential 1,000 people. Although sometimes I try to say this as carefully as I can. I'm not so sure everyone that is credentialed ought to be credentialed. But as I said, last week, the SEC is very generous with their credentialing policy. Basically, if you submit a request, they'll give you one.
Yeah, why do they need guards at the bottom of the escalator?
It didn't work at all.
Yeah.
It didn't work at all.
Show that
you know what made me mad?
Upstairs.
Listen, Saban came down, and look, some coaches, you can take a back door. All right, there are back doors into everywhere. I mean, think about it. How many times you ever been to a concert where the band comes in, the main door? You know what I'm saying? They don't. They go in the back. Steve Spurrier and a host of other coaches go in the back. Nick Saban pulls up in a black, like Lincoln Continental or something, I don't know what, a town car of some variety, right at the front door of the Winfrey, right through the revolving doors of the main lobby, to a throng of Alabama fans and a number of TV cameras and that kind of thing. Doesn't really sign a whole bunch of autographs then, made his way straight to Radio Row, went upstairs, but then he came back down. There's an escalator that goes up from the lobby to the ballroom level, which is where all the media day stuff takes place in terms of the coach interviews, player interviews, etc., with the exception of when they come down to see us on the first floor on Radio Row. And Nick stopped right at the bottom of the escalator and started signing autographs. Just for like 2 minutes. But it was 2 minutes to where you literally couldn't move. You couldn't get on the escalator. And the security guys are there, and they're helpless.
Right.
There's one of those velvet ropes, which, as any of us, the velvet rope really works in terms of blocking. Oh, well, better not cross that velvet rope. I'm going to get electrocuted or something. No. And so I just thought to myself, by the way, and I put this up on Twitter last week, there's a huge sign, like a 3 foot by 4 foot sign, something big. I forget how big it was. Big. It clearly says, credentials required, no loitering, no autograph, and has a big SEC logo. Man, a hill of beans to them, man. They could not have cared less about that. But Nick enjoys that particular part of the aspect of it all, and he's a fun coach to listen to, and I'll tell you, he gives one heck of a talk. I mean, it was clear to see why Nick Saban is a coach in very high demand.
He can be a consultant when it's all said and done.
He could be a lot of things when it's all said and done, and I imagine he will be. He can run. Look, he's got the philosophy where you could put him in the CEO or president role of a major company with the talking points and that kind of thing. Forget about what it may be, and he'll just set the plan, hire the right people, and bang, he'll go as long as they follow the philosophy. I was talking about getting that from Bill Belichick and just a very basic philosophy of doing your job. You have a role. Your role is defined before you ever start work. Do your job, and if everybody involved does it the way they should, then special things can happen. Nick Saban's already won him a title at LSU. Couldn't get it done for a variety of reasons in Miami. I think a lot like Spurrier. I don't know that it was all on the coach, but sometimes. And Duce, you've been there before. Yeah, you got to have some of the talent, but sometimes as well, the motivational tactics don't work on grown men making seven-figure salaries, and that's something to take into account as well. Sometimes you got to let men be men. In college, boys are boys that need to turn into men. But it was neat to listen to. 404-6100, 866-667-1075. I'm going to share some other